All right, good evening, everyone. I think I might be a little loud blowing eardrums out, but there we go. We're going to get that fixed. We are live here with the Sim Racer Hub Xfinity Series. We'll get you a ticker up here very momentarily. Mike, you finally found us. You must still not have something set right for him to hear me.
Hey, Adam, you got me?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Yeah! Sorry, I'm late there, buddy.
Oh, no problem. We got our first caution of the evening here on lap number something. We're about to check it out here on the pool instant replay. Keith Ramsey and Sam Murto are possibly our culprits here, getting into each other, coming through the tri-oval. Getting a little whirly, getting a little loose. Looks like it might be just a bad push on the upside. 16 goes for a ride to 20 on its side. Gets a wild ride coming down through the front stretch tri-oval. And I'm not sure, I don't know if we have a fast repair, one fast repair or not this evening, as normally this league has no fast repairs at all. So once you're damaged for the night unless you can find ways of working on your car under a green flag.
Yes, I believe that is correct. There is no fast repairs. I think you'll have to do the time hold in the pit lane. Too early for pit stops.
Oh, no.
The only thing I could, Adam, is if we come down to a green and white checkered right at the very end.
All right, so
The other thing, Adam.
all right, so we are back here. I'm trying to get this situated so that I can talk without too much background noise.
And I got a lot of repetitive in my headset.
All right, we got that working now. Now that I can push the button to talk. Waiting for the lights to go out on the pace car as we get set to get going here again in the Sim Racer Hub Xfinity Series. This is going to be an Xfinity Series that NASCAR is trying to get going on Tuesday nights. If you're interested, you can check them out on Facebook. If you're wondering, the 16 strong QR code there in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I'm going to leave that up here for tonight as tribute to Joey Doucette and the Doucette family. We're trying to help raise funds. So Joey unfortunately lost his mom here this past week, and we're just trying to help with the funeral cost as best we can.
I figured out why I have feedback. It's because of the YouTube. So I'm trying to go to screen 1 here. So if you want to...
Well, you can mute.
Right, yes, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to pull up my screen on my Discord here. So I'll be with you in a second if you want to take it over for now.
Sounds good. So lights are out on the pace car. We're coming through turns 3 and 4, getting ready for this restart. We have the 39 Reese's machine painted up similar to what you would see for Halloween, it looks like, as this is Halloween night tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed trick-or-treating and everybody got the candy they wanted. Jackson Cornell is in the lead there in that 39 machine. Brandon Duncan on his outside in that blacked out 15 machine. Third row, or in the second row, we have in third position Levi Ship and Justin Anderson there on the outside in that number 24 Toyota. In your sixth row, you got the 84 of Jimmy Crawford and Seth Hatchell. So far, some decent racing going on. Just have to kind of calm down a little bit. There is still a long ways to go. I realize this is a shorter race than what we're used to here at Nazareth.
Oh, sometimes you could get ants in your pants in this racetrack.
Oh, I think some of these drivers are, as they're jockeying for positions pretty tightly here at the beginning of this race. We're only 8 laps into 35 laps, so there's still a long ways to go. In my head, you don't want to really push too hard right at the moment. You want to try to save your stuff so you're there at the end. Third lane forming on the outside. That looks to be the... I'm trying to see the number on that. That's the 28 of Seth Hatchell, trying to make a third lane for him, but cannot get any help. So he's going to duck back into that upper lane, that outside lane as it is right now, with being led by Jackson Connell there on the outside in the 39 machine. The 15 of Brandon Duncan there in second, still fighting for that lead. It's still going to be led by Jackson there on the outside lane, being pushed by Justin Anderson in the number 3 position with that number 24 Toyota. A lot of dicing going on. There's the number 19. That is Pamela Cox. Looking pretty good. Sitting there just kind of letting the race come to them. The drivers definitely don't want to try to push too hard, but I understand getting a little aggressive to try to get into a position so you can make something happen later on in this race, as it is only 35 laps. So I'm not sure if pit stops will be a factor here in this one.
Yes, and they're in double file, and you want to be as calm as you could in this stage here, and you want to make sure you could do all you could do before everyone says about the big one. It's not a question of if, but a question of when it's going to happen.
Well, some races I've had the privilege of producing for, it has been a question is if we get the big one. Believe it or not, I've seen some races here at Talladega go pretty clean. I just see the drivers side by side, 2x2.
I can't pull up my video on my Discord, so I'm just going to call it from my YouTube, if that's okay with you tonight, Adam.
However you can get the feed. There we go. We got them sideways. There's your big one you were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, they're piling up in the back.
We'll get that replay started here. Jackson Connell. It looked like it was started with the 84 Jimmy. Well, no, wait a moment. Oh dear. This makes it, it's 64, I think. I don't know. I'm trying to get a beat on which driver it is, because obviously the numbers aren't matching the 84. Oh, I'm so turned around here right now on these numbers.
Oh, especially how fast they go here at Talladega.
Well, with this being a recruitment race, my numbers on on the scoring pylon don't match the numbers on the car yet.
That's true. Maybe they don't have their mind made up too. That could be another possibility, and they're just using those numbers for tonight, and it's not a locked-in number for the season.
That is correct. So as you see, the 28 green machine kind of pushes the 84, that the car number 84. I haven't figured out who that is yet. Just gives them a bad push, and you see all the carnage that comes behind them, coming through the backstretch.
Yes, with the bad pushes,
I know, that's the front stretch. That's coming through the tri-oval. Unfortunately, with some of these races, or some of these wrecks at this racetrack, you don't really see it until you're on top of it, and you can't even see through the smoke half the time. So avoiding some of these accidents for these drivers can be difficult since it's such a big drafting track. You're right on the bumper of the car in front of you. You can't really always tell what's in front of you. You're just following that bumper that's in front of you. As we're on board now with Nick Cordova, you can see, just even under pace laps, you can't really see around the 8 car to see what's in front of them. You still with us, Mike? I think we lost Mike a moment. You found us
All
again.
right, I found this. I apologize once again.
Oh, it's all good there, Mike, as we're getting ready to go here.
Oh, this is what we'll have on live here.
Lights are out on the pace car. We are getting set to roll here this evening with the Xfinity Series brought to you by the SimRacerHub.com. This is recruitment race number 1. I'm not sure how many recruitment races we'll hold before the start of the season. I think only our race director and the top guys here at Nazar will know.
I believe it's 7 from what I heard.
You think you're trying to kick this one off the November 7th?
No, I'm saying 7 races. I could be wrong.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right, so green flag back in the air. 23 laps to go here at Talladega. These laps are flanking down pretty well this evening.
Sometimes Talladega and super speedways, it's all about waxing and waning, as they call it.
Yeah, a big portion of Talladega is being patient. And we see a few drivers being patient. We see other ones trying to get a little bit more aggressive to try to get up towards the front to make moves happen later on in this race.
And this is a track with the last couple races I was broadcasting. You really don't have to worry about tires at all.
You have to worry about tires some, but it's not a tire track where it's going to really hurt you all that matter. So really here at Talladega, especially this race tonight, you're not going to see any pit stops because I think they can make it on fuel and they can make it on tires.
And this is a track, especially, you want to make sure you're good on points and you want to know where you're situated when those stage points come at the end of stage 1 and at the end of stage 2.
Right, and we don't have any of our stages tonight as this is just a recruitment race. We're kind of doing a dash format. As you see the drivers forming 2 to 3 lanes up here at the front, battling for that first, second, and third position. As we got that 28 moving back up through the middle, that lime green and black, pushing the 8 machine there in the center. That is Todd Mays, I believe. Oh, Todd Mays is there in the 26 machine. On that bottom side, pushing the 54 of Philip Toscano. Toscano slides up, blocks the 8.
Ooh, that was a big slide up. You really want to be careful, and he's trying to go down to the middle and block the 3 lanes. You really don't want to get suckered in there, because even though you're trying to go to the lead, you really could get swallowed up and go backwards in a hurry.
As we see that with the 54, we saw him try to block the middle lane, ends up trying to block clear to the top, and now he's drifting backwards.
The 26 made a bold move trying to go to the inside. I would have the officials look to see if that was a yellow blend line rule. That was awfully close. So I don't know if what you caught there, Adam. But
I didn't see the 26 do anything fouling to go below that yellow. Because sometimes the drivers can get pushed below the yellow. Did they advance their position below the yellow?
This 9 car is really weaving back and forth, trying to catch up with the draft here tonight. He doesn't look like he's confident in which line he wants to go in. But now he seems to have settled down, and because there are more cars in that line, I always think of Talladega as, imagine a big slinky and a rubber band effect. The rubber band is the shorter and inside the slinky, and it all depends on which line is moving. If the slinky on the outside is stretched out more, the slingshot is always going to be shorter. So we call that line racing. We always have to be careful in iRacing of where you're going to be, of who you want to be with, and who you could trust in pushing you.
Well, that's the thing. Most of these drivers running here tonight, this is the first they've ever run together, so they don't know really what to expect from one another.
Looks like the 4 car, I believe, has just bounced off the wall. Doesn't look like it was too bad here, as we see the 87 car going for the lead up on the high side. He took a look and said maybe not a good idea. Now 26 is really on the high side and wants to go for the lead too. It's very early for everyone to keep fighting for the lead. You have a lot of laps here, especially in only a recruitment race, to say, I have to be here for this segment and I have to be there for this segment. And now we have the 19 looking to see where he can go. Again, he should just settle in and not use up his stuff, as we have 18 laps to go.
And we're on 17 laps to go with them 3 wide coming on the backstretch. Looking to be almost 3 rows deep going 3 wide. Depends on if the 9 wants to jump up to that middle lane or if he stays on the low side, putting 4 cars in that bottom train. We got the middle lane getting a little loosey-goosey there with the number 19 there on the bottom side as he's sliding up and down in that lane. Thought he was going to tag the 26 there, 1 and 2.
Oh yes, and another thing with this racetrack, and doesn't matter who's driving or anything like that, you'll say, oh, there already was a big one, but it's not always true. There could be a second big crash, even with this small pack of cars. It all depends on how they're spread out and who's racing who. So you still want to be careful, especially with 16 laps to go here at this start finish line.
Yeah, and these drivers are going to understand that they're racing for the pride of winning tonight. There's nothing really on the line except for gaining notoriety to get into the NASRA group and into the SimRacerHub.com Xfinity series.
Right, and not only that, they have a bunch of other owners in iRacing looking at them too. If they don't get an NSRA, they could say, oh, maybe we'll recruit you for our league, just like they do in NFL or any other sports. We are the same way, and we also get recruitment and recruitment letters or recruitment phone calls, just as I have in my past in my iRacing. This is one reason why I'm able to be here in NSRA, which has been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, the league that we recruit for is called NASRA. It's the NSARA, or we like to just call it NASRA.
I think of it as NASA. That's how I kind of remember it. That good old word association.
Oh yeah, it's not too. It's just another letter added, pretty much.
And we have two split lines coming down turn 3 onto the backstretch here. 4x3 and then 1 car gap for the 8. As long as you're in maybe a second gap or so between two cars, you could have that draft, but if you're a second or further back, you might have trouble catching that gap.
Yeah, they're all coming down the backstretch now. The number 8 out front, that looks to be the 28, though, of Seth Hatchell, if I'm getting my numbers right, or is the 28, or is that 8 a lap down car?
Hatchell is in the lead.
No, Satchel is the number 8, but he's number 28 on the scoreboard.
Oh, okay. Looks like the outside line is starting to spread out again, and the inside line is trying to just stay in line and run down the laps. And then we have a move on the outside here. Looks like the 64. I believe I can't make out that number there. And then
Yeah, we got an 84 at the front of the outside lane moving forward.
84, thank you. And then the 9 car is blinking, so that might be just a connection of some sort. So everyone wants to be cautious of him with 12 laps to go. And we are coming down onto the backstretch here, and we are still 2x2x2x2. And one driver is trying to go for 3 wide on a lead. That's the 8 car. He's ducking back down now. He thought of it and said, oh, it's still a little too early. Sometimes, even though with this small pack of cars, you could still build up what we call a third line on the outside. But it's still a little too early. You'll think, oh, 13 laps to go, they want to get all they can. But maybe with about 2.5 laps to go, maybe even 3 1/4 laps to go, that's when we start making our moves. Sometimes we even wait to the last lap, but again, you don't want to be in this big pack back in front, because it could overheat your water temperature. So you see these guys moving in and out a lot because they're trying to get down their water temperature and cool their engines.
Well, I don't think water temps are a big problem right now. As we see one lap car up against the wall. That's the 24, I believe. Yeah, that's 24 of Justin Anderson. He was caught up in an earlier accident here this evening as we got the 6 along the outside wall now. Leaders 2 by 2 coming underneath him through 3 and 4.
And there's
Yep.
yes, we are in turn 3 going into turn 4. There's a lap car at 24. He tried to get out of the way. He should stay high. And there's another lap car. That lane is usually strictly for the lap cars. And the leader has the right of way to say, okay, I want you in this lane or I want you in that lane. And respectfully, these drivers are doing the right thing, holding their car up to the very top, just so they are very respectful and are out of each other's way, especially here coming to the line with 10 laps to go.
Well, really, the biggest thing that we look for lap traffic is can they hold their lane? Because the leader can go around them if they hold their lane, and that's the biggest thing.
Right. You don't want to mess up anyone's race that if they're going too fast or too slow, as the 19 got really loose from the 14. That was a great save by the 19 there.
We got the number 8/28 of Seth Hatchell out front there on the bottom side. The 84 of Jimmy Crawford trying to get up front. Jimmy Crawford now to the front in the 84 machine with the 28 there in the bottom pushing Seth Hatchell. That is the 228.
That second line doesn't know which way to block. They're blocking each way because we're coming down here to 9 laps to go. And we're getting even lines here,
and
so
the 9 net code issues.
yeah, he's been having those issues since I've been here too. I've been noticing that as the 64 has come down and almost got everyone.
We stay green though. I don't know what happened to the 9, but definitely problems there on that 9 car. Connection issues.
Oh,
So that is
definitely.
Seth
And
Hatchell now regains the lead.
no. And there they go. There's a few spin-ins in the backfield, but I don't think this will bring out a caution as they all got out of the way.
Yeah, no caution. We're still green down the back stretch with Seth Hatchell still in the lead.
I know this is a recruitment race, but I have been in other races, Adam. I don't know if you've been in those races where you're in a league race and you don't get out of the way, or you have that situation like the 9th car, and everyone is telling you you have net code, please get out of the way, and you don't. The league owner has a right to either X you out of the race or give you a 1-lap penalty. I have been in races where I have been both, but more of a 1-lap penalty I have gotten. So I have learned my lesson, so the 9-car race should be aware of that for the next time.
Now, he could have packet loss and end up dropping out his connection as well, so there might not be anything for our race controller to do, as he's already gone. We'll have to figure that out here in a little bit. 7 laps to go, though, with Seth Hatchell out front, Brandon Combs in second. Getting a little slice and dicing going on there farther back for around the 4th and 5th position. Trying to form up another outside lane, trying to go 2 by 2 for these 7 cars out in this front pack.
And there's about a 7-car gap between the red and white car. I cannot see who that is at the moment. One of the cars almost went below the yellow line, came back up, and that really got the inside top 3 out of position, and now they're just trying to get everything restored as the black and yellow car is trying to make for the lead, but he ducks back inside, and they're still trying to get the third line going to the top.
Now they have a third line. They had 3 rows going there for a little bit. The 26 of Todd Mays, he's going to go out front. Going to try to battle Seth Hatchell for that lead as the 8's going to try to side draft from the back to the front. Not able to get anything going yet.
Oh, the 8 car is in too far of trouble and too far in back. He got himself in that sucker hole, as I have talked earlier. There is a lap car about 20 lead car laps back, but it's too far for that car to make a draft. So he's in trouble as he's trying to do side drafting. and he's trying to come up through the line. So he should just stay in line and let these last 5 laps as we come to the start-finish line roll out here.
Side by side through 3 and 4. Coming to the start-finish line. Seth Hatchell out front. Todd Mace there in second. Brandon Combs third. Andrew Harris fourth. Now third. Brandon Combs drops back to fourth. Jimmy Crawford fifth. Pamela Cox in sixth. Justin Williams seventh. Jason Razoo and Jake Razoo are going to be 8th and 9th. Keith Ramsey will round out your top 10.
Yes, Razoo, you were saying that correct. I have raced with them a couple times. They are brothers, I believe. They are really nice racers and just people over around as we come here with 4 laps to go at the start-finish line.
Coming through 3 and 4 once again. I think you had all side by side here in these top 7 cars. We only got about 9 cars on the lead lap, which means it's probably only 9 cars left on track. So our biggest battles are right here in these 7 as they get sideways again. And one goes down through the infield, but we're going to stay green. 3 laps to go here at Talladega with the 26 going for the lead here in the corner number 1.
Oh yes, iRacing is very realistic, just like in NASCAR, especially with 2 to go or 1 to go. If one car has a spin just like we saw a couple laps ago, and gets it away, they won't throw caution, and they'll let these leaders battle out for the win. As we have a spin here, the 19 is going through the tri-oval. Again, can he save it? Yes, he looks like he saves it. That gives the 26 going into the lead here in the turn 1, as we got 3 laps to go. That those cars have shuffled, and the 87 is going for the lead, and he tries to get loose, and everyone's stacking up on the inside.
Already side by side here across the start-finish line. It is going to be the number 8 or 26 of the 28 of Seth Hatchell led the lap, but Todd Mays is battling again on the outside. The 84 has to get down below the apron, and he's not going to do too well. Hopefully he hangs on to it. Ends up losing some momentum.
The other thing you have to look at too, Adam, especially as you know, being an iRacer yourself, the second place car can push the pusher, but the third place car in farther back is having trouble pushing the pushers, because that'll make the line squirrely, as this situation has, as the 84 is spinning around. Oh, can he do a Kyle Busch save? Yes, he did. He got up behind the yellow line, and so that'll be a save for him. There won't be any penalty there, but because of that, he is no longer in the draft area. He's probably about a second or maybe second and a half back, because of that, 4 cars are now in the lead as we come with 2 laps to go.
We're on the final lap here at Talladega backstretch. 26 there on the bottom, number 8 Seth Hatchell on the upper side, 87 of Harris, and the 8 of Williams, all battling here for these top positions.
Oh, with 4 cars to go in the last lap, you never know.
Last corner.
Last corner, they're going to go 2 by 2 and down to the backstretch, as here we go at Talladega Super Speedway. The car that went out earlier is trying to catch up, but he won't be in the way as we come down to the final stretch. The 26 is making it inside. The 87 is trying to go on the outside and looking both ways, but it doesn't seem enough. The 87 car is trying to hold down the yellow line. The 27 gets a 1 look, but the 1 car gets up high at the very last second. It's going to be a drag race to the finish, and it looks like the 6 car has won.
That's the 8 of Justin Williams. And I think whatever way you're watching, you're about a half a lap behind me.
Oh, I apologize. My stream must be a little bit behind me.
So, as the 8 gets the win here this evening in the Sim Racer Hub Xfinity Series Recruitment Race number 1, we want to thank everybody for coming out, as I don't think we're doing driver interviews tonight.
Yes, I wasn't aware of that, so.
Yeah, no driver interviews tonight, but we will see you next week. See you next week with hopefully the see you next week with the Sim Racer Hub Xfinity Series here on Tuesday nights. I will not always be able to be the broadcaster. Once again, though, that 16 strong there in the bottom right corner, that is for our dear friend Joey Doucette and the Doucette family, as we are trying to help them out with their dear loved one's funeral. That he lost his mother here this past week, so we want to definitely send our condolences and our support with the Doucette family. And if you're willing to do the same, the QR code is there, and the GoFundMe link is in the description. Thank you all for joining us here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network as we brought to you yet another exciting race here from the track of Talladega for the Xfinity Series Recruitment Race number 1. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.